Underrated producers of all time, part 6. When I think about Memphis hip hop, the first thing that comes to mind is those dark melodies, heavy bass lines, chopped up samples, and them hard ass drum patterns with the fast hi-hats. A lot of people make the case that the Memphis sound is what inspired the Crunk movement and also trap, and for good reason. The Memphis style of production has definitely inspired the game in more ways than one, even till this day. To this day! With even Drake using part of a Project Pat song out there on the Look Alive song with Block Boy JB. With that being said, there seems to be a lot of confusion as to who is the true architects behind the original Memphis style. When you think about buck jumping or gangsta walking, which started back with DJ Spanish Fly, who a lot of people consider to be the godfather of Memphis rap back in the late 80s and early 90s.
So I'm paying attention to what they're doing. It's buck jumping, that's what it is. So I pretty much stamped it, Gangsta Walk, and they just ran with it.
This style would truly engulf the city of Memphis, even inspiring DJ Paul and Juicy J of 3 6 Mafia. Now I will admit that Paul and Jay are in my top producers of all time, and we could easily make a case that they deserve their own episode. Now there is a bit of a gray area, being that some say 3 6 Mafia style was a ripoff of other well-known producers on the Memphis scene. Others may say that Paul and Jay just took it to another level, simply being inspired and influenced by the culture around them. I personally believe ain't nothing new under the sun, and anyone can be inspired or influenced by anything, but that's neither here nor there. I don't want to make this a video about any beefs as far as the true origins of Memphis rap. After all, I'm a Texas boy, and I only know what I've heard or had to research. The purpose of these videos is to pay homage and show respect and appreciation to the producers who may not have always gotten the credit and flowers they deserve. So without further ado, today's episode is actually part 1 of a doubleheader. We'll be covering 2 legendary producers who are both a staple in Memphis and largely responsible for the sound so many fans have fallen in love with. The first of those being the legendary DJ Squeeky. Coming out of Orange Mound, DJ Squeeky came from a musical family who was heavily involved in church. Being a music fan, Squeeky would actually play the drums at his church. Eventually, he would start as a DJ, being heavily influenced by DJ Spanish Fly.
Spanish Fly was like my hero of the mixtape gang. When I used to go to drop my tapes out to the tape store, man, Spanish Fly being there, man, he be dropping out stacks on them motherfucker. He probably leaving out that motherfucker probably about 5, 10 bands. Going to Ed's store, picking up 5, 10 bands. I used to be like, man, I want to be like him.
As much as Squeeky loved playing music, he really wanted to make mixtapes the same way Spanish Fly would. He understood that in order to do that, he needed to be involved with actually making the music, which led to him to start producing music from his mother's house. Some of the first artists Squeeky produced for just so happened to all be Memphis legends. 8 Ball and MJG, Criminal Man, Tom Ski Mask, Kingpin Skinny Pimp, Al Capone, just to name a few. He was also one of the first in Memphis to put his mixtapes in stores when a lot of artists in the city were still trying to figure out how to do so. Squeeky has a long track record of mixtapes and albums, several of them considered to be Memphis street classics. He also considers himself the first to ever put out a Crunk record.
You go back on the records, go back to the songs. I'm the first person to put a Crunk record out. We was already down here screaming Crunk. You know, that's how people caught our words and started, you know, putting it in their songs. You feel what I'm saying? But for an actual song that was out, we had actual songs.
Squeeky has worked with so many Memphis hip-hop legends, including Gangsta Boo, R.I.P., Lil Chat, Coops the Nicka, R.I.P., Gangsta Black, Tommy Wright III, as well as newer Memphis artists like Key Glock, Black Youngster, Don Tripp, and most notably his working relationship with the late great Young Dolph, R.I.P.
When Dolph was doing his thing and getting it popping, he's calling my phone and said, "What we doing?" I said, "Man, we need to drop another album." You feel what I'm saying? He like, "For real, you think they like that, John?" I said, "Bro, drop another one.
Come on.
We got to keep dropping until they start liking you."
Facts.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then once you start liking you, then keep dropping some more.
Squeeky is credited on almost all of Dolph's projects over the years, as well as some of his biggest hits, such as Talking to My Scale, By Mistake, and 100 Shots, one of my personal favorites. Needless to say, these were all big records for Dolph, and they're all produced by no other than DJ Squeeky.
I ain't even lie. He amazes me every time. He really does amaze me every time. I ain't even lie to you.
He also did Non-Stop for Drake off his Scorpion album, as well as doing tracks for Young Jeezy, Pastor Troy, Gucci Mane, 2 Chainz, A$AP Rocky, Megan Thee Stallion, and many more. Nowadays, DJ Squeeky is still very much active in music. He has his own website and also a YouTube channel. He may not always get the credit he deserves, but regardless, DJ Squeeky is not shy in reminding anyone how important he is, not just to Memphis culture, but hip hop in general.
See, I was the producer's dictionary.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? But
Pop your shit then, big
so
dog. Those are facts. Those are facts.
but I feel good though when I hear it because they let me know they was listening.
His unmistakable style, his knack of always being ahead of the curve, combined with his many contributions to the game and the city of Memphis, is why DJ Squeeky is considered to be one of the most underrated producers of all time. To be continued.
I want y'all to thank me, man, for making the 16 hi-hat, man. All the producers out there, I want you to thank me, man. I appreciate y'all vibing with me, man. You know, some shit I did on Saratoga back in Mom's room, making the hi-hat going, you know what I'm saying, back in the day, and it just spawned.
Stay solid.